So when I continue, the 4 types of rebirth. You can born in a rebirth in a woeful state, in a blissful sense sphere, in a rupa vachara plane, or in a arupa vachara plane. So the first citta that arises at the time of concession or rebirth in any plane, this is called relinking consciousness or pati sandhi citta. So this is the term they use, pati sandhi citta. And then the pati sandhi citta is followed by a similar citta. They are called the bhavanga citta or life continuum. I mean, after the pati citta started, the following one will take over, the bhavanga citta. And then the last citta at death at any plane is called the chuti citta. And everyone has is function is to cut off the whole rupa. So chuti citta is the one that cut off everything. So the pati sandhi citta, relinking consciousness, bhavanga citta, life continuum, and chuti citta, last citta, in any plane will be similar. So whichever plane you are, is follow the same pattern. They will have the same object as the relinking consciousness, and the object will be the same as the date proximate thought series of the previous birth. Okay, so we're going to talk about date proximate thought series. And when a being is born in the woeful state, the pati sandhi citta, the relinking consciousness, is always the unwholesome resultant consciousness. So when you are born in the woeful state, it's unwholesome consciousness with equanimity. Okay, so that's why this is for those in the woeful state. You are having this akusala vipaka. It will be a bhavanga citta and a chuti citta for that plane. So akusala vipaka upeka sangata santirana citta is the only rebirth consciousness pati sandhi citta that occurs in the woeful planes. So this akusala is for woeful planes. The santirana citta is a resultant rebirth consciousness, or what I call vipaka citta, of the 12 unwholesome akusala citta, except moha mula uda citta. So uda cha citta is a weak citta, and it does not have the power of producing a rebirth. The 12 unwholesome citta can give dukkha vipaka, suffering after birth in any plane. So the 5 ahetuka akusala citta arises at that time. So what is ahetu akusala vipacita? These citta are resultant state that arise as a fruit of the past unwholesome action. They are not accompanied by any roots and are therefore neutral in nature. So this very thing that give you the kind of rebirth in the next existence is a sort of kind of consciousness not accompanied by any of these roots. It's a resultant kind. So where without any so-called effect, because it's in the past already created for you in the present. So example of this ahetuka akusala vipaka include the consciousness associated with unpleasant sensory experience, such as seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or touching, or something unpleasant. So our 5 faculty, all these thing is belong to this particular thing because of no roots. So these experiences are not actively unwholesome, but are result of the past unwholesome karma. Example, if someone experienced an unpleasant smell due to past unwholesome karma, the consciousness that arises in that moment is an ahetuka akusala vipaka citta. It's a passive resultant state and does not involve any active unwholesome mental factor like greed or hatred. This one explains how this ahetuka is. So for an akusala karma to produce a patisandhi as a vipaka, it has to complete one. That is the complete act called karma pata. Then the 8 karma vachara kusala vipaka, the 8 great resultant are relinking consciousness, or what I call the patisandhi citta, is a blissful sensual plane for normal beings. So it's karma vachara kusala. For beings born with, there's one more, take note, with these congenital defects. When baby are born with blind, deaf, mentally retarded, and so on, the relinking consciousness will be this thing that happen, the wholesome, resultant, investigation consciousness with equanimity. I mean, the kusala, vipaka, upekha, sanghata, sandirata, citta, santirana, citta. Okay, so those born with this defect is due to this. It's a result of vipaka, of a weak, wholesome, kusala thought. So this kusala is a weak form. So as is a wholesome thought, because the wholesome thought, the rebirth is in the human plane. But the thought is weak and there are congenital defects. I mean, effect on the physical body. So akusala thought is weak, umaka. That means it's born with a two-rooted and not supported with good thoughts. I mean, instead of three-rooted, it's born with two-rooted. So with these two-rooted, then you have congenital problems with good thoughts before and after the act is performed. So because of this, those blind or deaf, so on, so on. It's a kusala thought is weak, umaka. If it's two-rooted, I mean born with two roots, and not supported with good thoughts before and after the act is performed. That's why we Buddhists have explanation for those people born with defect, especially on the body. So whichever of this is due to two-rooted problem. There are 9, 8 plus 1 citta are the rebirth linking consciousness in the blissful sensual plane. I call Kama Sugati. You go to see a slide, 6, I explain why there are 9 cittas. The above mentioned 10, 9 plus 1 citta performer, rebirth linking consciousness in the sensual world is 11, Kama Vachara Bhumi. So we will look further into this Kusasala Vipaka, Upekha Sanghata, Satirina Citta. Kusala Vipaka, Upekha Sanghata, Santirana Citta refers to a specific type of resultant consciousness that arises at the foot of the past wholesome, or what I call kusala karma, and is associated with equanimity. So why this type of citta is a resultant consciousness that arises as a fruit of the past wholesome karma. Due to the past, you have this particular resultant. It is associated with equanimity, meaning it's neither joyful nor sorrowful, but balanced and neutral. Then, what it works, it functions as an investigating consciousness that possesses sensory objects that are neutral in nature, neither strong pleasant nor unpleasant. So a good example is when a person experiences a neutral sensory object. Example like seeing a plain wall or hearing a neutral sound. As a result of the past wholesome karma, the consciousness that arises to this process, this experience is kusala vipaka, upeka sangata sanditara citta. So it's a passive resultant state. Okay, next one, rebirth in the five material planes. The relinking consciousness in the first jhana resultant citta, what I call the Pakma jhana vipaka citta. Okay, so this is due to the first jhana resultant citta. And similarly, the second and third jhana resultant are the relinking process in the second jhana plane. And the fourth resultant consciousness is relinking process in the third jhana plane. And the fifth jhana resultant citta is a relinking consciousness of fourth jhana plane. So for beings born in the mindless plane, or what I call asana bhumi, there is no relinking, asanumi, there is no relinking consciousness as the mind does not function there. So the material form, rupa, alone exists at birth, at rebirth. So this one born with no mind, just a plain body. So these five rupa vachara citta are the modes of rebirth in the rupa vachara plane. Okay, so they explain the five material plane. Next one, you need to understand what is this term asana bhumi. The term in Buddhism refers as a realm of non-perception or the realm of beings without perception. It is one of the higher plane existent in the arupa loka, I mean formless realm, which is part of a threefold division of existence in Buddhist cosmology. Kamaloka. Kamaloka means it consists of the sensual realm, realm of desire, rupa loka, the form realm, realm of stubborn materiality, and arupa loka, the formless realm, realm of immateriality. So what is characteristic? Absence of perception. Beings in this realm have no mental perception or consciousness. That means no mind. They exist in the state of suspended animation with only the stubbornest form of material rupa sustaining their existence. And this state is often misunderstood as a kind of eternal sleep, but it's more accurate to describe it as a state where the mental activity is completely absent. I mean, there's no mind at all. This realm is attained to the practice of advanced meditative absorption, jhanas, specifically to the fourth arupa jhana, known as the Nirvasana Sayatana, the state of neither perception nor non-perception. However, the Anusana Mumi is a distinct form of the Nirvasana Nayatana state, as it involves the complete cessation of perception. That means don't touch the perception, rather a stubborn balance between the perception and non-perception. So it's considered temporary existence, like all realms are in samsara. Existence in this so-called anasa bhumi is temporary, where the karmic force that lead to rebirth in this realm is exhausted. Beings will be reborn to another realm based on their remaining karma. So even here, it's not permanent. Time's up, you have to leave. So some people treat it as a liberation, according to especially those Vedic, they ever come to this particular plane, then they come to meditation, they treat this as the liberation. So for Buddhists, while this realm represents an extremely refined state of existence, it is still part of a samsara, and is not a state of liberation and does not lead to the end of suffering. So in comparison with other realms, Arupa Loka, formless realm. The formless realm consists of 4 planes, each corresponding to a higher level of meditative attainment. Then the Akasayatana is a sphere of infinite space. Vienna Chayatana, sphere of infinite consciousness. Akinachayana, sphere of nothingness. And Nevasnayasana Yatana, sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. So Ana Bhumi is sometimes referred as a 5th plane of formless realm, and is unique that involves a complete absence of perception. So we'll go to the 5 Rupa Vachara Chitta. Each of the 5 Rupa Vipaka Chitta is associated with the specific jhana level and its corresponding mental factor. They are the first jhana Vipaka Chitta, associated with the first jhana, which is characterized by initial application, sustained application, rapture, happiness, one-pointedness. These chitta arise as a result of past wholesome karma related to the first jhana. And then the second jhana vipaka associated with the second jhana which is characterized by rapture. Remember, all these things drop when you go up. Happiness, one-pointedness, initial sustained application, and are absent in this jhana. So this chitta arises as a result of past wholesome karma related to the second jhana. Third jhana vipaka chitta is associated with the third jhana, which is characterized by happiness. So drop one more. One-pointedness, itakata, rapture, and then absent in this jhana. So this chitta arises as a result of past wholesome karma related to third jhana. And the fourth jhana vipaka is associated with the fourth jhana, which is characterized by equanimity, one-pointedness, happiness, and absent in this jhana. So this chitta arises as a result of past wholesome karma related to the fourth jhana. And the fifth jhana vipaka chitta is associated with the fifth jhana, which is characterized by equanimity, one-pointedness, ekata. So they drop a few more. So this jhana is further refinement of the fourth jhana, often included in some Abhidhamma system. So this chitta arises as a result of past wholesome karma related to the fifth jhana. Next, we go to rebirth in the immaterial plane. The first resultant immaterial consciousness, Patama Arupa Vipaka Chitta, arises as a relinking consciousness in the first immaterial plane, Akasan Jaya Tanaya. Similarly to the 3 other Arupa Vachara immaterial planes, the respective resultant consciousness. So Vipaka Chitta arises as a relinking consciousness, Patisandhi Chitta. So these are the 4 modes of rebirth in 4 immaterial spheres. So we go further on Arupa Vachara. So in the formless existence, beings in the formless realm have no physical form, and they exist purely as mental phenomena, so of a mind. Their experiences is limited to the stubborn mental state corresponding to the respective formless jhana. The result of meditation, the rebirth of the formless realm is a result of attaining and mastering the formless jhana during one lifetime. So the speculation of rebirth depends on which formless jhana has attained and perfected. That's why when people practice this formless meditation, whichever state they attain, they are destined to go to that particular selected state. Like all realms in the samsara, existence in the formless realm is temporary. When the karmic force that lead to rebirth in this realm is exhausted, being or reborn in another realm based on their remaining karma. So it's not liberation. While the formless realm represent extremely refined state of existence, is still part of the samsara and is not state of liberation and does not lead to the end of suffering. So we go further. There are 4 types of arupa vachara patisandhi citta. So each are corresponding to one of the 4 formless jhana. Akasayatana patisandhi citta, rebirth linking consciousness in the sphere of infinite space. Vyana chayatana patisandhi citta, rebirth linking consciousness in the sphere of infinite consciousness. Then Akichanayatana Patisandhi Citta, rebirth linking consciousness in the sphere of nothingness. And Neva Sayana Sayatana Patisandhi Citta, rebirth consciousness in the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. So the existence of arupa vachara patisandhi highlights the importance of understanding the relationship between meditation, karma, and rebirth. So if you want to go to here, you need to meditate to this absorption. So while the formless realm represent a high refined state of existence, the Buddha taught that the ultimate goal is not to attain rebirth in a higher realm, but to achieve nibbana, the cessation of suffering, and the end of cycle of birth and death. So Buddha recommend is to be a human. We have all the things available for you. This one you all may have gone through in the early years. So recap again. Productive karma or janaka is a karma that can produce at rebirth. So when you start a new life, this productive karma start. And follow that, the next one, supportive karma, upatanam vaka, will support the productive karma. That means this supportive will support the productive karma to maintain its good or bad effect. So when your life still around, this one, supportive karma, is still sustaining, it's not weakened. Due to other things, obstructive or counteractive karma. This one hit you, this particular karma weapon, it will weaken and interrupt and retard the operation of productive karma. So this one come in, and this one get affected. So when affected, life start to change. And then there's one even more powerful one, destructive karma, upataka. This is a power opposing karma that nullify the potential energy of productive karma. So this karma, there's no way you can stop them. Okay? And then your life will start to coming to an end. This one also taught in the early year, to recap again, grouping of karma respect the order in which they take place. Example, weighty, serious karma, garuka, is a powerful, wholesome or unwholesome act that produce a result in the next life. So your next life, with this weighty, he either give you good or bad. Then take proximate karma, asana. Karma that one perform or remember just before death. So when a person come to end of life, according to Venerable Subano, one of your Malaysian, is a late Mante Subano. He has a video tape recording on this. He given emphasis this when one coming towards end of life. He said that there's something like a video tape or video CD for you. So even though you can't remember or what, come to that state, this thing you yourself will watch this video over and over again. So, especially the bad one, it will come and prompt you, where are you going? Okay? So, this deck proximate karma is one that can make you fearful. If you are doing some bad thing, then they will come and haunt you towards your end of your life. The next one, habitual karma, achina, the karma that one habitual regularly does or recollect. Example, you come here and every 2 weeks come for the, or some people every week, you come for this uh, Dhamma, Abhidhamma classes, you cultivate a habit of this habitual karma. So when you have this habitual karma, so when death come upon you, this thing, habitual karma, can easily arise. So when these good thoughts come, then this bad one will not able come and interrupt you. So that's why important when you learn Buddhism, you must know about this sort of karma. So this thing is not buying one. Habitual karma is you yourself created. So if you have this habitual one, then this thing easily arise, especially at the moment of death. You can always think back what you have learned. Next one, the reserved karma, kata ta, the karma that performed in the past and forgotten. In the absence of birthday, this come into effect. So whichever hit you upon your ending of your life, whether weighty, dead, and habitual, if all these three not present, then the fourth one will come here. This already forgotten in the past. So if birth three never happen, then this sudden happen to you, then you take effect on you. So coming to death, all these things will determine your next rebirth. For explanation again, what is Veti Karma? This can be wholesome or unwholesome thoughts. They may come first to produce the vipaka, result in the next life. If it's a good karma, as a case of jhana, he can enjoy the jhanic bliss while living and be born in the Brahma realm in the next rebirth. So these are a good one. There are 5 kinds of Veti karma. These are bad one. Wounding of a Buddha, killing an Arahat, matricide, and killing one's mother, patricide, killing one's father, and creation of schism in the Sangha. So Veti karma, for us, we never ever go and create one of these, we won't be in this serious woeful karma in hell. So you all can be safe from avoiding this, okay? Those committed this wrongdoing will be born in hell, and most probably in the worst one, or Avicii Rinaraya. So unwholesome Veti karma supersede the good karma such as jhana. So even you have practiced very good jhana, but so this unwholesome Veti karma override your whatever good karma you have, this will take place, will throw away the good one away. So they become the prominent one. So Devadatta, good example, you have study, who had jhana with psychic power. So he had everything. By the end, he lost all due to his wounding the Buddha and creating a schism in the Sangha. Okay, these are serious offense committed, and then you are in hell. And an example, another one, King Ajasattu, he had potential to attain Sotapanna state, but because he joined hand with this Devadatta and killing his own father, and thus he too is born in this hell. Next one, we talk about death proximate karma. It is a karma which one does or remember just before death. So that's why I always ask people to go to near people when they are coming to death. So you can experience it and see and observe from what you can deduct from there. It's helpful for those who are near a dying person to remind him of the good karma he has done. It may prevent him from remembering an unwholesome act and being born in hell. So that's why, as a Buddhist, if your friend or your relatives has a very hard cut off life towards the end and start getting frightening and seeing all those invisible beings, then it's a time to speak to them and then try to help them to recall the good thing he has done in the earlier life, and then good deeds which you witness and able to see that they able to accept this. So in a way to deviate the path to a good one. So it's beneficial to keep a record of good deeds that one does, such as keeping a book of meritorious deeds called pinpota, to remind one of the good one has done. So anyone, you keep record, how many good deeds has you done? Next one, we talk about habitual karma, achinaya karma. They are karma that one habitually or regularly does or recollect. At a dying moment, may remind of a good or bad karma that one had a liking and one that he did regularly. So when your people come to the end of life, always remember every 2 Sunday you will have your Dharma, or some of you even every now and then have Dharma. So remember the occasion, then you have a better rebirth. A butcher may remember killing animals or symbol of killing, such as knife, and be reborn in hell. These are especially, that's why Buddhists encourage not you to take life. And Upasaka devotee may remember the regular offering of flowers to Buddha and be born and happy about. These are things that you have done previously, then you can remember, and then you will have a better destiny. And reserve karma. These are karma that one has performed in the past and forgotten. So in absence of above three, karma, any one of the past karma, good or bad, may fresh on the mind of the dying person and give the vipaka and the corresponding pain at the next rebirth. So it's still no good to have reserved karma. You better have this so-called habitual karma. So habitual karma in a way that at least you have a good destiny. So this one is like jackpot. You are hit with one of them, then no choice. So we go for the grouping of karma respect to time of taking effect. During the present life, then you will come effect to the present life, or during the next life, then you produce result in the next life. These are those karma, and possibly sometime in the future. So you come in the effect in the future life, and then there's one more type, ahosi karma, defined. This one will not produce any effect. Okay, this one we cover in the earlier years. So if you can't remember, please go back again and do a revision. So grouping of karma, immoral or unwholesome one, then you have this unwholesome deed in the sensual plane. So what you do, what you get. Sensual sphere wholesome karma, you get wholesome deeds in the sensual plane. Then find material wholesome karma, you wholesome act in the immaterial plane. And the immaterial wholesome karma, wholesome thought in the immaterial think this is material. Okay, typo error also. This is a material. This is not immaterial. Next one, we talk about immoral or akusala karma, completed karma, excluding one caused by restlessness, cause rebirth in a woeful state. So all 12 akusala chitta can give unhappy result, dukkha vipaka, at any time after birth. And the 7 unwholesome resultant, hetuka akusala vipaka chitta, may be experienced anywhere in the sensual or karma plane and rupa plane. 8 moral kusala karma can produce rebirth in the 7 karma sugati blissful plane, and the 8 great resultant maha vipaka chitta may experience a rebirth and after rebirth in that life, and that 8 wholesome rootless resultant may be experienced anywhere in the karma planes or rupa planes. Karma vachala kusala karma is the highest order, is accompanied by 3 roots, hetuka kusala, and produce rebirth consciousness accompanied by 3 roots at the next birth. So we are lucky to have 3 roots. If that good karma is remembered at the time of death, during a lifetime, they can give happy effects as all the 16 resultant, 8 beautiful and 8 rulers, called hetu vipaka. So for kusala karma to be highest class, it has to be ukata one. The thoughts before and after and the time of performing the karma must be associated with the 3 roots. For instance, an alms giving with wisdom to the virtuous, let me perform a dana to especially a monk with rightly obtained wealth and no repentance on the highest moral usala karma in the karma vachala plane. So for example, giving alms to the monks. So with this thought, you will have a good rebirth. Moral karma with 3 roots. There's another one, moral karma with 3 roots of lower class, omaka. And then your problem here. Your produces rebirth consciousness, patisandi, accompanied by 2 roots. Even you do good, then something lagging, then when you rebirth, you have 2 roots, then you have congenial problem. One of the faculty will not be working properly. So moral karma with 2 roots or higher class ukata also produce rebirth with 2 roots, may give effect to 8 rulers, happy resultant, and 4 maha vipaka, de-associate of knowledge during the lifetime. So very worrying, you're doing things without knowledge, then these 2 roots will come and affect you. So moral karma with 2 roots and of a lower class, omaka, produces rebirth and with no roots and may give rebirth in a human plane. So even though you are born in a human plane, you are ended with congenial defects. Then kusala ahetuka patisandi, and give effect to the 8 rulers happy resultant. Okay. So those with ability to attain a jhana at the time of death can be reborn in a corresponding Brahma plane. Here's a further explanation to the earlier one. Can we stop for a while and come back in, I think, 10 minutes time? Okay.
Okay. Okay.